Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. What's going on? James Hicks here from Hicks New Media. Tonight is a special night. All Infotainment News Live are special, but tonight is extra special. Interviewing a young man who I have known, I might say all his life, but it's pretty close to. A young man who is very influential in the music industry. A young man who has risen up and has made himself very successful in terms of what his passions and what his dreams are. Before I bring him on the screen, let me just talk to you a little bit about Mr. Nick Torrence. Born in Hayward, California in 1993, then moved to Sacramento, California with his family in 1995. His mother Angel, his father Virgil, and his sister Brianna are all beautiful people, and I am humbled to call them all very close friends. Nick was introduced to an array of music at an early age. His great grandfather, Red Caillou, was a jazz singer in New Orleans, and his great grandmother, Marion, was also a singer. Many of his aunts and uncles were accomplished musicians, singers, and actors themselves. His uncle, Terry T., was a known Bay Area rapper in the 1990s. Someone go ahead and look him up go ahead and Google him up. Terry T in the Bay Area, ladies and gentlemen. So music is in this man's blood. In school, Torrance was considered an outstanding athlete in track, wrestling, and football while attending Antelope High School. He was actually named the West Coast Olympic champion in the 100 and 200 meters and was named MVP in football. Track man, following after his dad's footsteps. I like that. However, after suffering a struggling and very debilitating illness in his junior year, Torrance himself found his way to music. I believe he actually references that struggle in one of the songs on his album, the song "Tired." We're gonna talk about that too. This young man is recognized for his unique style of hip hop and his melodic voice. He recently released his first major album called "The Gentleman's Ball." Ladies and gentlemen, give a shout out. Holla at your boy, Nick Torrance. Nick, how you doing, brother?
What's up? What's
Huh?
good, y'all? What's good, man? What's
Oh, oh,
happening, man?
okay. Did I get it right, man? Did I get the
Hey,
facts
hey,
down?
excellent, excellent,
Okay,
excellent. Beautiful
okay.
job. Well done, brother. Well done.
Thank you very much, man. Talk to us, man. Tell the folks who is. I'm not gonna call you by your whole government name. I'm gonna call you
Hmm.
by the stage name. Who is
Yeah.
Torrance?
Okay. Well, for everybody out there who doesn't know me, my name is Torrence. Uh, my name is Torrence. AKA Nameless, AKA 93. I should say formerly known as Nameless because that was my stage name before I became Torrance. But I became Torrance because I eventually found who I wanted to be. And I kind of knew that was gonna happen at some point. Like I didn't plan. That was never the plan. It was never to be nameless for my whole life because I knew I wanted to be somebody. I knew I wanted to represent something. I just didn't know what it was. But going through life experiences, I just figured out and realized that the only thing I really need to represent is myself and my family. So I threw my last name on my stage name. I threw in a little 93 because I was born in 1993, like you just said, and just to kind of reference something for myself, to separate me from other artists, because I have seen a couple artists out there who do, music and others, named Torrance, but spelled might be spelled differently. But I
Right,
wanted to
yeah,
really,
I saw that out there when on Spotify and on Apple Music. I said, no, man,
right.
they done took the man's name off
And then took the man's name. I can't even have my own name,
him.
but no. I mean, but it's all right. It's all love to those individuals and stuff like that. But man, I'm a kid from Sacramento, California. Grew up. I was here for most of my life. I'm heavily Bay Area influenced. Like you said, I was born in Hayward, California, and just because I moved out here doesn't mean that influence went away. It was definitely very heavily influenced in the scene out here in Sacramento. But I always felt like I was a little bit different. My style, I call it, is a neo hyphy because it's influenced by the Bay Area, but I'm also a very soulful person also, and I know how to get there and talk about that real when it's time
Yeah.
to it, but also know how to have a lot of fun. But I mean, that's really about you. Kind of summed it up, man. It's everything that most people know about or know about me or need to know about me is either in my music or what you just said. I played sports when I was younger. That eventually didn't, inevitably didn't go as how I wanted to, but I found
Yeah.
another blessing in music.
I like where you said that everything that folks need to know about me is in my music. So let's talk about that, right? I mean, because again, as I was saying, your
Yeah.
family, you come from a family who knows instruments, who knows how to get in front of a stage and knows how to entertain. I've
Hmm.
seen you perform. You have that stage presence.
Yeah.
It's just that's not something that you can teach somebody. You have that innate in you. Talk to
Hmm.
us about
Yes.
where that comes from. Yeah, yeah, maybe your family and life experience and things like that. But tell us when the lights come on, when you got the mic in your hand and the beat drops, and you got your hype man with you. I forgot his name, but when you got your hype man with you, I mean,
Yeah.
you turn right. You really
Yeah.
you bring it.
I changed. It's almost, man. It like it's like you said. It's kind of always been in me. It's very easy, but like I like what you said though about like the lights turn on because those when those lights turn on and that that music drop, I close my eyes and I just feel it. That's the same thing I did with my track and field when I'd be
Yeah.
right there at the line and the starter, all right, run us to your mark. It was kind of this kind of gives me the same feeling. I say it gives me the same feeling of adrenaline rush and like I'm in my zone. I get extreme tunnel vision. So like I took when I was unable to run track and field anymore, I kind of needed to capture that high within something. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? With something that I do or something I could feel good about. And when I started to do music, when I started to record music, should I say, because I've always sang in choirs and I like rap with my
Right.
friends, but when I actually started to get into the art of recording music, is I almost got that same kind of high, that same kind of nervous feeling than when I go behind the mic, and then when we press that record button, I just kind of close my eyes, whether I know my lyrics or not, and then I just kind of go in, and
Okay.
it kind of that's just what it does for me. It's just another type of high and another way I could be competitive within myself. Now I'm not in competition with other artists as far as like who's at what level and what position, but I'm more in competition within myself to portray what I'm trying to portray what I'm trying to get across on the record in a way that can relate to other people in the best way that other people can relate to. And that's kind of it's just a challenge within myself, but it's always been that I've always felt that and I've never felt like I couldn't speak in front of people or entertain people, because I entertain people with football. It was just transferring that to music and entertainment, being on the stage. It was the transition wasn't hard at all.
Okay. Okay. So when it comes to that process, right? When you're sitting in the room, when you're sitting in the car or whatever, or there may be a current event that happens, talk to us a little bit about your process, right? What's that creative process that makes you jot something down and say, this is the next track, this is that next melody, this is what's gonna
Uh-huh.
be Gentleman's Ball 2.
Yeah. The my creative process, and I'm not gonna lie, man. My creative process is can be very challenging for me at times because um, when I it's not like most people get like find a beat and they just write whatever. It's like it's a feeling for me. It's a feeling and it's for an energy. It could be like you said, a current event that kind of sparks off a topic that I want to talk about or something. Um, that just kind of moves me, whether it be coronavirus or a lockdown or love, a breakup or whatever it is. It could just it just moves me. Um, and even from there though, like sometimes I don't even finish what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll get stuck, I'll get tongue tied, or I'll get writer's block, and I have to leave and come back to it. Are a lot of my songs are accumulation of a whole bunch of other lines that I wrote at random times, and I kind of just brought them all together and stuff like that, and it ends up being coming out to something that that I like. Other times I'll have to put myself in a mood. It really just kind of varies on the song and how I feel the day or whatever. Like sometimes, like you said, I'll literally have to go and take a walk for a couple of hours, or I'll be in the car playing beats or something like that, or just listening to music, things, listening to people who inspire me, and other songs that inspire me, or podcasts that inspire me, and so I can kind of get an idea and spark the idea. But a lot of my creative process can be kind of challenging to personally because I would love sometimes to just bust out songs, bust out songs, bust out songs, but because I want to talk about different things, because I don't just want to talk about the normal stuff that and the cliche things that people are always talking about. I'm thinking really deep all the time. So because I think deep and I'm in my head a lot, I kind of tend to get straight off and just set it down. I'd rather set the product down and come back to it than just throwing something on the page that's not going to actually resonate with my listeners or even myself. So
Yeah. So when you talk about, and I want to dive a little bit deeper than that. When you talk about, you want to talk about
go
things
ahead.
that other folks aren't talking about. When I was initially preparing for this interview, I was thinking about, unfortunately, here we go again with some young black folks that got caught up in something. So, Ahmad Arbery and Breonna
Hmm.
Taylor, right?
Yep.
Does
Rest
that
in peace,
spark
Ahmad.
something? Definitely, brother. Does that spark something in you that, to want to put down some lyrics and say something about that situation, or
Yes,
what's part of that, behind for you?
yes. At I never force things. Um, so it's not like I heard what happened to Ahmad and the other young lady. Um, Recently, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna get in the studio and write a song about this. It's usually like I have to sit on things sometimes. Like I have to really sit on things, process it, see what's going on, understand the whole situation. If we're talking about something like those, like events that happenings, I have to process things. Like
Yeah.
I can't just, I'm not gonna just. I mean, unless like I have, unless or when I get to the point where I'm just in a studio making music every single day, like then it might be a little bit easier. But I have to process things a lot also because I might just because my creative process when making songs kind of can be all over the place and scattered.
Hmm.
But I mean those are things I already plan on talking about at some point, in the near future. But I haven't necessarily got down and wrote over a beat that I felt like I liked. But those things those are things that need to be talked about. The awareness needs to be shown. People need to see what's going on. So my way and my form of doing it is through my music.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's always like it's always like just a feeling though. Like if I could wake up tomorrow and be like, bro, I'm gonna write something. Like it's like that energy. When that energy comes to me, there's no stopping. But it's always just a feeling. I need to feel that feeling. Not saying that I don't feel anything for the situations at the very moment. I 100% do. When it comes to my music, it's always it needs to be a certain feeling that I feel before I write anything down on a piece of paper. If we're talking about something for a specific event.
got you. Got you. I'm looking all over. You see me. We having technical issues, and it's not our fault. It's Facebook's fault. I see, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm glad.
It's all good.
That's why I have backups. That's why I'm recording this, and we're also gonna throw this on YouTube. So shouts out to
Mm-hmm.
being prepared here, right?
Good.
So let's
Right.
move
Right.
on along to that. I mean, you were talking a little bit just now about folks that influence you, or folks that you listen to as well, to gain kind of some thoughts from, things like that as well. Are there local
Mm-hmm.
artists, or are there, some more of the nationally known folks that you aspire and listen to? Talk to me about that. Who's on your short list, right?
Um, my right now, yeah, I mean, I listen to I don't listen to I listen to a lot of music. Like there's a lot of like I listen to a lot of genres of music. I listen to jazz. I listen to
Yeah,
classical sometimes from time to time. I listen to country. I listen to rock from time to time if it speaks to me. Hip hop, obviously, R&B. Like I listen to a lot of people, but the most I listen to is myself. Like I listen to myself every day,
I like that. That's
and
all right. I,
sometimes I catch myself listening to myself for months and not even listening to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So there are definitely a couple artists who I listen to for inspiration right now. Some are newer, some are older. If we're talking about some of the newer guys, local artists, there's an artist out, a rapper named Mozzie from Sacramento. He's pretty well. He's doing a lot of good things for the city as far as like the music scene and even the community itself. So I respect that, and I get a lot of passion and feeling from listening to his music. Um, there's another artist I listen to right now named Sir. He's from Inglewood, California. He's an R&B
Okay.
singer, and I listen to him because he like I resonate with his music much more than I would like a Muzzy type character because
Okay.
he's real thug,
Yeah.
he's real hood, he's real gangster and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But so I Mozzie is like somebody I get energy from. Like I take energy. Like when he plays his music, I get that energy. I get hype. I get you know inspiration in that way. Now when I'm listening to Sir, sorry, there's a dog over there, but when I'm listening to Sir,
That's all
I
right, man.
get
We quarantined
I
at
get
home, man. It's all good. We quarantined at home,
right,
man. That's what you get right now.
right, right. When I'm listening to Sir, I get a lot of inspiration because his music is, you know, he speaks in his music. He speaks on a lot of things that I can relate to: love, loss, um, struggles as far as like money, working day-to-day jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like the process even of creating music and stuff like that. I listen to his music, and it's like the kind of music that I want to make myself. You know what I'm saying? Um, another artist I listen to I, right now, I probably on a more on a daily basis is a rapper from um, Atlanta, Georgia. His name is Lil Baby. He just dropped a project a couple weeks ago, and it's been going crazy. And everything comes back to an energy and a vibe and a feeling. And I
Yeah,
get from
I
all
give you
three
that.
of those artists, I get a certain feeling from. They're all different genres. Like if you listen to all of them, they're just not the same at all, but they're all different. Now, if we're talking about people who I just kind of grew up on and will always be on my playlist and in my inspirations, um, like I mentioned at my party, it was Erica Badu's, the Jill Scotts. Um, I like listening to jazz. I like listening to Frank Sinatra. I like listening to Louis Armstrong. Um, who else? People like um, groups like Wyclef, groups like Outkast, those type of things. If we're talking about for an older generation, for
Yeah,
things I've
right.
been listening to for years, like years, stuff like that. Those are the kind of things I listen
Yeah, and
to.
again, those are
Even more on
artists.
a more.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. And I was gonna say that even more on a not kind of in between those two categories, more on a more recent, but over maybe the last couple of years. Kendrick Lamar, Chance the Rappers. Yeah, those type of artists like Kendrick Lamar, Chance the Rapper, and J Cole were three artists that literally pushed me to do like
Okay.
pushed me to actually start making music. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Now I was inspired for like the Jill Scotts and stuff like that before, and right now I get inspired by the little babies and Mozzie's and stuff because Mozzie's from my city. We relate in some ways, but though like Chance the Rapper, J Cole, and Kendrick Lamar were coming out when I was coming in. You know what I'm
Makes
saying?
sense.
Like,
Yep.
so
Yep.
they were the ones that I were listening to when I was trying to figure out my whole thing after I stopped track and field and I just wasn't doing that. And there was a certain point in my life where I didn't feel like I was doing anything with my life. They gave me inspiration. They gave me life. They breathed life into me with their music and they inspired me to actually start recording instead of just being at school or with rapping with my homies. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that. And what I was saying is, all those folks that you mentioned were folks who I would consider as well to be lyricists, right? Folks who actually
hmm
know about word and sentence composition, right? It can actually put something together and
hmm
make it sound
yep,
incredibly,
make it sound it.
uh,
Yeah.
intuitive, intelligent, and all those great adjectives, and
hmm
you've got that, right? So I
Yeah,
can definitely hear that.
and even a lot of those artists, even artists like those, they can literally say the same thing over and over again in different ways that still speak and captures attention. And that's one
Hmm.
thing that I do admire about like the Erica Badu's and the Jill Scotts and the J. Cole's and the Kendricks and stuff, because they're the lyric, like they studied that lyricism well enough to where they can. If I've heard them talk about the same thing in a couple songs, but it's in different forms and in different ways that is still capturing, and it's not gonna bore the audience, you know.
Got
And
you.
I
Got
admire that.
you. Got you. We've been. It's a rough time, man. Right? I mean, literally, what
Oh
was it?
yeah,
A week,
we're
a week
definitely.
before Corona, you dropped the album, and
Hmm.
we were out there celebrating with you at the release party.
Oh,
Talk to us a little bit
whoa.
about how this has been crazy, right? I mean, you was on the mountaintop. You was there. I was there with you, right?
Oh,
I got what the picture.
right
Let me pull
here,
up the
bro.
pictures, right? Talk to us about
Bruh.
how that has been, right? I mean, because that's definitely an emotional roller coaster. Just being here, having to deal with this, and what's going through you right now? What's going through you right now?
Yeah. Well, I can say that like being at the party and stuff like that, I can say that was livid. Like that was an outer body experience. I was watching myself do that. Like that was something that I wanted to do for years. That I
Yeah,
finally got a chance to accomplish. And yeah, like you say, I was on a high. I was on a high that day. Like that high I was telling you about, like when I was running track and making my song, I was on a high that day. I get a high from being in front of people and letting them see who I am and entertaining them and stuff like that. And but it was surreal. It was really surreal. Like I that was just a dream. A couple, you know, and it really didn't. It didn't take much to make that happen, but it took a long time to make it happen because I needed to go through certain things within
that
my
makes
life
sense. I
personally.
hear that.
But it was great. It was great. It was like I want to do it again. Like it was a wonderful feeling, like to see all my family friends, and I was holding back myself. But I was emotional that day. I
Yeah,
was emotional that day because it was this has
hey,
always been
it was
something
your
I
day
wanted to
though.
do.
It was all right. It was your day, and
Yeah.
you know you had friends, family, fans, everyone show up to support you for an important
Hmm.
event. Look, the album. Before I left that night, I downloaded it because it hit all the services about I think it was mid. We left at what 11 o'clock that night or something,
Hmm.
and midnight it
Yeah.
hit, and
Yeah,
ever since.
it was already actually up because it hit midnight like our time, but on the East Coast, they're like 3 hours ahead. So
Okay. Okay.
they hit on the East Coast time. So 3 hours before it even hit midnight here, it was up. I down as soon as the party was over, like you said, I checked my Apple Music, I downloaded it. I was like, oh snap. And I seen it. I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
this
listen,
dope.
let me download my own stuff. Let me.
My own stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? If anybody gotta listen to it, I gotta listen to it.
Real, for real. Now, in the intro, I
Hmm.
made a little reference. So on my workout, I call it beats and rides. On that playlist, I got tired on there.
Hmm.
That's. Look.
Tired.
I know the album is the whole album is dope, and I know you go through a little progression throughout that entire album. But
Hmm.
was I correct in that
Yes.
you referenced that injury in tired that you had?
Yeah. When I said I almost lost my legs, but that pain don't go. And
Yes.
then when I said you don't know about sleeping with mad tubes. Yeah. That was
Okay.
definitely that was definitely a reference to the experience that I went through. Yes, it's definitely a reference. And a lot of people have been like, bro, what happened? Like,
What you
going
talking
on?
about?
Be
Yeah.
like, I mean, what you talking about? You know, because I haven't necessarily spoke essentially about that situation yet in any of my songs or any music, but which I'll get to. But no, it definitely people definitely hear those parts and be like, bro, what happened? They want to know.
Yeah.
And so I'll usually tell people, but yeah, that was a reference to that. That was a really um big moment in my life, even though at the moment it was kind of a negative moment, but it was a really big moment in my life. And little did I know that it was going to mold me into the person, and it's going to give me inspiration for things that, I'm doing later on in the future and stuff like that. But yeah, that was a big, because I, before I started doing music, it was nothing but sports. It was nothing but sports. I didn't live for anything else. I lived to play football. I lived to run track and to be with my family. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when it was almost like that, it was almost like that. I didn't stop playing sports just right when I had that surgery and that injury or sickness, if you want to call it. Um, but like because but oh well, well actually football that was done. Football was over. There was no playing football after that. You know, that was a decision that me and my family made for myself. So that was a bump. That was, and I was playing football longer than I was running back, and that was a bump. I could say I ran track more just because it was a year round thing,
Mm-hmm.
but that was really hurt me. Even if they didn't see like they didn't see right now when I went home, that I was hurt because I couldn't play football anymore. That was something that I really wanted to do.
Right.
And inevitably, I didn't want to admit it, but then I knew that later on down the line it would hinder my track and field career, and it did. So that was and essentially that me going through that at the time. I didn't show anybody, but at the time it was devastating because I wanted to be strong, so I didn't show people how I felt and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I always knew it. I always go back to that feeling. There's always a feeling, and there's always an energy that I can feel and intuition that lets me know that my intuition, I'm not crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I just kind of knew that it was gonna hinder me at some point, and it sucked. It really sucked.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna like lie or be around the bush. It sucked,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it gave me inspiration though for something else more beautiful than I ever could imagine.
Hey, right there, right? There it is, right there. You
Right
see a
there, there
picture?
it is, right there. Look, there it is. Keep these
Oh
pictures, bro. They're gonna be worth something someday.
no, they worth something today. What you talking about? They worth something today. Look at that.
Mm,
And boy, that's
Look,
that's a
correct
good looking
me,
squad
correct
right
me,
there,
boy.
boy. That's
Right
that's
there, boy.
that's left and right. We
Yeah.
keeping you together. I love it. That was a
Yeah.
great
That's
night.
yeah. For the people that don't know, that was my dad, and that was
Yeah.
James. In the mix. Definitely, I was glad to see both of them. My dad told me he wasn't gonna come to this, so I was juiced that he was there. I was because he
Yeah.
had he had business that he had to do,
Well, I
but
know he
eventually
looking
he
always
he
looking
you know
clean
he
though.
made it. He made it.
Brother Verge always
Always,
clean.
oh,
So
always,
I mean, I'm
brother
I'm I'm
Burge.
wearing my athleisure gear, and Brother Verge
Right? No, no,
always
no.
got the
Yeah, man, you
Brooks
good.
brother. Always got the
Yeah,
Brooks brother suits on.
you still look good, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. So promotions
Hmm.
about are you doing anything right now to kind of keep folks listening to the album, working? I know for a while, like when it first released, a lot of people who downloaded and bought it were doing some Instagram stories and things like that, and talking about their favorite
Hmm.
song on the album. And I mean, are you
Yeah,
are you are you doing anything now? Again, why unfortunately we're in this little lull that we're in, right?
yeah. Right now, I mean, honestly, yeah, it's still mainly through Instagram because that's like my main
Hmm.
source of promoting myself. But excuse me, um, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter sometimes. I'm kind of learning Twitter. I need to get better with being on Twitter and stuff like that, but I still use those all as platforms to promote myself. I play my songs and I listen to my songs every day on like Instagram. I promote it, I pay for a little promotion to get it out
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
places that so people can hear it and stuff like that. But um, yeah, right now the only and I still have people listening to it, which is a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
Even when I look at my stats, when I go on, my DistroKid where I release my music, it gives me stats and see how many people listen to my music. People still listening, so that makes me feel good. And honestly, really, it's just about putting out more music because people can listen to those songs, and you know, I can listen to them all day, every day. But the
Yeah,
average listener, even if they matter, no matter how much they like me, the average listener, they're gonna get tired of it. So the how I keep them engaged is putting in more music. So I just dropped a song called Jawsin last week on all streaming platforms. If you like look me up on Apple Music or anything, you'll see it right there next to my album. So that's like the start. That's like my single. It was actually Jawsin is the song that I came out to performing at my party.
okay, yeah,
And
yeah,
really that's
okay.
about it. Yeah. Jawsin, that was a good song. People, that's getting some good feedback. People posting that and people doing their thing. But honestly, the only social media is the only way I could really, really, really promote myself. I tried passing out flyers maybe like a week or so into this COVID thing, and it
Yeah.
was not having it, man.
doing,
People
doing the
was
old
not
school,
having it.
tapes out of your trunk,
Oh,
doing the.
bro, they was not, and I mean, I'm still gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna do that. But when I was passing out like flyers, it just makes it difficult to promote myself. But because I'm a face-to-face kind of person, I really social media is. I'm not gonna like lie or anything. Social media is something that I definitely need to be better at because I've just never been that guy. I've never been that
Mm-hmm.
social media guy. I want to be social media famous or whatever, and then get a whole lot of attention. But because I do music, I have to promote myself. I have to mention like that.
Yeah.
But so right now I'm just kind of trying to get my feet wet. It is a good thing though because now this is actually forcing me to actually like learn how to maneuver around social media and how to maneuver on Instagram and Facebook and things like that to get
Yeah.
my name out there because I could still promote myself without having to go out face to face. I'm just more a face to face type of person. That's what
I
I
hear
would
you.
prefer to do is face to face, meet contact with people. But the thing is, it's definitely even though it's a difficult time right now, it's definitely let me get to a space where I have to sit down, check myself, and sit down and really double down and learn and see where I'm lacking at and give me time and energy to actually, work on
Makes sense. Makes sense. You see, I got the screen up right now for Apple Music. Let me go ahead and add
it.
Jaws
Yep.
into my. Look, I don't mess around, man. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. Hold on. Let me go ahead and add that to the library right now.
Look, man. Look.
Yeah. Let me. I
Look.
don't mess.
Look, man. Y'all ain't
Yeah.
even get man.
Yeah.
Y'all
You
gonna
think
have to
somebody
catch
playing?
up. Y'all gonna have to catch up to James.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that.
James over
And
here. He
look.
ain't playing. Y'all gotta
I,
catch up.
yeah. Look. And there go my playlist, beats and rides. Look. And you in there? Hold on, because I
Hmm.
added it in.
Right.
You think?
There
I'll
you
make
go.
sure. There you go. You think I'm playing? There it is, right there, boy. Yes, sir.
Mm, go
So,
ahead with your bad self, brother.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I look. I got you, man. We out here talking all the goodness and making sure that it's right. Uh, so,
Good.
bro, what's next, man?
Good.
What's happening next? So, you got Jaws in. You out there doing your thing, talking,
Hmm.
keeping relevant with your folks and folks in the
Yeah.
streets and folks in the music business. What you got going next?
Right now, what's next is the studio. The studio. I mean, I've been in the studio every week for like the last month
Hmm.
working on songs so I can get out. And right now it's I'm trying to just bust out single stuff right now. I do have plans for projects in later on in the year. My plan is like how I want to structure out like my not my well, I guess my career and how I market myself and stuff like that. Like the Gentleman's Ball, top of the year, Gentleman's Ball. I want to enter every year, top of the year with an album around the same time. Now, there's two parts to the Gentleman's Ball. So for the next 2 years, 2021 and 2022, I'll be dropping Gentleman's Ball 2 and then Gentleman's Ball 3. But for the back end of those of each year, I want to drop two EPs to follow up. So in the third and fourth quarter of the year, I'll be having two EPs. And if for people out here that don't know what an EP is, an EP is just a really shortened up mixtape. So I my project is 12 tracks, so then I do five or six.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'd still make the amount of songs that I would for an album, but I would only put out those, and then I use the rest of those for singles and stuff. And that's kind of what I'm doing, like the songs that didn't make the Gentleman's
Okay.
Ball, and
Okay.
along with songs that I'm making in the studio right now, I'll be dropping the singles, and every couple of weeks I'll be dropping another song, and then singles and music videos is where I'm really focusing on right now. I'm shooting a music video next week on Thursday for the Jaws song. I'm not saying that I don't want people to think I'm neglecting the visuals for the Jones Ball, but it needs to be a certain way. And with this quarantine thing going on right now, it's gonna be difficult for me to portray the message and the storyline that I had for
Right.
the Gentleman's
Right.
Ball. But we can always get back to it because it's not going anywhere. So that's really what it is right now. The I don't have names for the EP. I do have kind of concepts. Well, actually, I do have one name for the first EP. The first EP is going to be called the Dead Poet Society.
Mm.
Reference from the movie
Hold on,
The
we
Dead
we
Poet
we getting
Society.
we getting we getting exclusive information here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all recognize. We hold
Exclusive.
on. We didn't heard that there's gonna be a
Exclusive.
trilogy to the Gentleman's Ball,
Hmm.
and now we talk about the
Hmm.
what do you call it, the Dead Poet Society. Was that it?
The Dead Poet Society.
God talking, ladies and gentlemen. Torrence
Yeah,
over here
but
dropping some knowledge. Somebody better. Okay, go ahead.
yeah,
Let
man.
me be quiet.
That's
Let me.
really yeah. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's like, and I have an idea for what the second EP is gonna be sort of about. But like, if for people who listen to the project, um, like the Gentleman's Ball was me in my nameless form and nameless state and stuff like that, of who I was when I was nameless and stuff. Young, turned up, rapping with my homies, partying a lot, going out doing things. But toward the back end of the project, it started to slow down, get a little, can catch a vibe, like a real
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
vibe, like
Yeah.
the R&B tracks and stuff like that. It wasn't like the project slowed down. It's almost like the project was speeding up, but slowed down at the same time because the vibes of the song was slower. But though honestly, the back end of the project is my favorite part of the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with that being said, is that like that's me going from the Gentleman's Ball is a project show where Nameless is coming into Torrance. So everything after that, like with my singles and the other projects and stuff like that, are gonna be more like Torrance based. Like they're gonna be really
Okay.
about sound that I want to portray for myself, going towards like the R&B and hip hop, like real conscious and real, still
Yeah.
fun and stuff like that. Like some have those tracks and stuff like that, but um, definitely real conscious and creating really conveying actual message to myself. And I want to get back to, I want to get back to doing music that resonates to me and where I come from and what I grew up on. Like I want my music to give the same vibe that other people get when they listen to Joseph Scott or Erica Badu
Yeah.
or even newer Sir. You know what I'm saying? Like I want people to realize that. And those are where those projects are gonna come into hand, and they're gonna be able to. And once I'm done with the Gentleman's Ball trilogy, then we're gonna, but that's like
Hey,
down the road.
then you do another
But
chapter, right? Then you just move on to the next chapter.
yeah,
That's all
another
right. That's
we just move on to the next chapter. That's all.
yeah.
That's all that
Yeah.
is. But yes, I definitely will be getting to a lot of doing a lot of things that resonate with me and into what Torrance represents and what he wants to portray. A lot more singing in my music and stuff like that because I want to get to my roots, and that's where I grew up on. That's what I was doing first, even before I was rapping. I was singing.
Yeah.
But I've just found a cool and different way to blend the both of them together
Right, right.
in the
Yeah,
things
you
I'm
got
doing.
some singing
So
chops
that's
in you
really what
too,
it is.
because at your dad's what was it, 60th birthday, you was carrying the
Oh,
tune. Yeah, you
oh
was
yeah.
carrying it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
you
I'm
got a little.
saying, bro. People don't, but people really don't like it, and that's why like this. It's a difficult time, but it's a really cool time and a great time for myself because now people are actually kind of seeing what I have. And for a long time, I kind of wondered why I didn't get like support from certain people, or why people weren't giving me what I wanted to, or what I thought they would that I needed out of them and my music and stuff. But really, it's not the fact that people didn't support me; it's the fact that I didn't have content out there to really let people see, people know who I am.
Mm,
So now with this being out there, people getting to me like, bro, I didn't even know you had it like that. Like I didn't even know. Like, and I'm just like, yeah, bro, I know, but this is me letting y'all know what I got. You know what I'm saying? And it's really, I would be wrong to neglect that part of my career and only want to be a rapper. And I
yeah,
would be wrong. I would be doing myself an injustice if I was just wanted to rap and not utilize the God gift that I got. Because not everybody can do that. Not everybody.
that's
There's
true.
a gang of Mozzis out there in Sacramento, but there's only a select few of Torrance. There's only one Torrance, but there's only a select few people who do what I do good.
That's true. Hey, man, I don't know. I think I'm done. I don't want to say nothing else. I'm gonna leave. You see, I made you center screen while you was breaking it down right there.
You
I didn't even want
did.
to be. I didn't even want to be
You
in the
did. I
way.
see it.
You see, I'm
Hmm.
back here producing and doing it all myself. I said, no, let this man speak
Hey,
in that the
man.
whole screen. I know. I see you
I
got
appreciate
the
that, man.
album cover behind you. I love it.
Hmm.
Uh, but on the for real, that I mean, let's look. That's an excellent segue to just say, brother Nick, look, man, we proud of you. Um, you're doing the right thing, and you're doing it the right way,
Hmm.
right?
Thank you.
You've got momentum behind you. You've got support behind you from friends, family, fans, from everyone. Uh, we're excited that Gentleman's Ball is out. We're excited that these new tracks are coming. We're excited that you got videos coming. Keep it going, brother. Don't get stale. Don't get stagnant. Don't let
Keep that
this.
momentum.
I'm gonna call it what I call the new normal. Don't let this get in your way. Talk to the folks real quick before we wrap up out again where they can find you to see your activity, your daily activity, your social activity, where they can get that music at too.
hmm Okay, for all those who don't know, and for you can find me on any streaming platform. That's Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. That's YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, um, uh, Apple
Hold on, you
Music.
want title too?
iTunes. Yeah, I'm all
Oh
there, bro. At
shoot! Let,
nine
let,
three
let me up.
torrents.
Let me get that. Let me upgrade that subscription. I'm sorry. Let me. Okay, I'm gonna be
Nine
quiet now.
nine
Yeah.
three torrents. You can reach anywhere at 93 torrents.
Okay.
If it will be up on SoundCloud soon because I've been getting some requests for me to post it up on SoundCloud. I haven't posted that up, and there's like older music that I have on there, but I will put it up on SoundCloud for those people who utilize SoundCloud. For as far as social media, you can my Insta or my Facebook is different. My Facebook is Nicholas Torrance. But my Instagram, my Twitter, um, my Snapchat, is all 93 Torrance. You can find me at 93 Torrance anywhere that you want. That's the easiest way to find me up. And if you do, there's people on there who see this, want to reach out to me. Don't feel free to send me a DM, chop it up. I like to talk to people. I like to talk to fans. I don't want you guys to think that I'm just a guy that makes the music and then just wants to benefit off others. Like I want to interact with people and show that I can show actual relationship with the people that I'm coming up with. Especially
Mm,
that is this is the beginning of my career too, because y'all want to get in here soon. I'm telling you, I promise you, you're gonna want to get in there soon and get that relationship up. And I want to show you guys that I want to show people that I can build that relationship with you guys and I can help you guys out just as much as I help you or just as much as you guys help me with my listens and my music and stuff like that. So, but yeah,
I
the
love-
93 Torrents everywhere, all streaming platforms, all social media except Facebook. On Facebook, it's Nicholas Torrance, simple,
okay. Okay.
Cholastorence. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's where you want to find me. That's where you want to find me. Feel free to reach out.
Cool. Cool. And what I will do is, I will actually write this since there was issues with the actual Facebook piece of this. We are still live
hmm
right now on Twitter, which is awesome.
Okay,
After I write the post up and
great.
put it on Infotainment News, and then I'll chop up the audio and the video, throw it out there on
hmm
YouTube, throw it out there on our podcast as well. I'll send you a copy, and then we will just continue to promote, continue to support, and I'm just looking for floor seats when you sell out Madison Square Gardens. That's all I want. I don't even want. Look, you don't have
Hey,
to put me
bro.
backstage.
Hey,
I don't even want to be back. I just want to be on the floor. Look, I'm not
yeah,
gonna be
that's
greedy.
crazy too, cause Madison. That's crazy too, because that's crazy you say that, because Madison Square Garden on the list.
I
That's
know
I
it's
was
on. Look,
already on my
I know
that
it's on the list.
that's already Madison the Garden. That's
Bruh,
already on the list. That's
I
that's that's going that's getting taken down for
I
sure. So
just
I
I,
got
I
you.
just want to
You
be
you hear
I just
you
want to
was
be in the building. I just want to have my lanyards on and
yeah.
say I'm literally with
hmm
the band.
Nah, you gonna be there right next to the you man. My folks gonna be in the back. Bro. You got access. I'm
I
telling you. I
love it.
promise you
I,
that you got
I,
access because I do appreciate that. Like I mean, like you said earlier on, serious note, like you you've known me for a while. You've seen me come up. You've seen me grow and stuff like that into the man that I am right now. And you've always given 100%, like support. Always support, whether it be my sports or whether it be just with my family and stuff like that. And my music has been a great deal of support. So I appreciate you for that, and even giving me the opportunity to be on your platform to promote
yes, sir.
myself. That's great, nigga. And to be one of the first people who helped me on my journey as an artist and on my marathon as an artist, bro. Man, you already locked in. You locked in, dude.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. And on that note, we're
Yeah,
going to call it the
no,
night. Thank
appreciate
you,
you.
folks, for joining us on Infotainment News. This has been a very special
hmm
episode for me. Be sure to follow Torrance at 93 Torrance on all social. Follow me at James Hicks. We will definitely keep you updated as this young man proceeds
hmm
with his career. Much love, much success. Peace out, brother. Be good to yourself.
hmm Thank you. Appreciate you, brother.